The child who laughs at the poor forgets that tomorrow has not been promised. This is the story of Kunle.
He laughed at the poor, never knowing life was already laughing back. This is the story of Kunle. In a lively town not far from the ancient city of Ibadan, there lived a young boy named Kunle. Kunle was the only son of a wealthy trader, and from the day he learned to walk, comfort followed him like a shadow. His clothes were always new, his sandals never torn, and his food never lacked meat. People often said that Kunle was born with a golden spoon in his mouth, but the elders knew that wealth without wisdom is like rain that falls into a basket. Kunle Sepa was hard and was respected, but he was often away on trading journeys. Kunle Sema tried to teach him kindness, yet pride crept into his heart. Hy het luid gelag, onoplettend gepraat en kinders met vervaarde klere of met hongerige maag voor sononder meer gesien. Hy glo dat geld die maatstaf is van die waarde van iemand, vergetend die ou spreekwoord dat 'n man nie lank is omdat van sy hoogte nie, but because of his character. Every morning on his way to school, Kunle passed by Sadia, a poor girl who sold groundnuts by the roadside to help her widowed mother. Her feet were dusty, her tray heavy, but her greeting was always warm. "Good morning," she would say with a smile. Kunle never answered. Sometimes he mocked her in front of his friends, calling her daughter of hunger. The other boys laughed, and Kunle felt important. Yet the elders would shake their heads and whisper that the child who mocks the poor forgets that tomorrow has not been promised. One afternoon, during the dry season when the sun burned fiercely, Kunle and his friends returned from school laughing and joking. Sadia's tray accidentally tipped, spilling groundnuts onto the dusty road. She knelt quickly to gather them, her eyes filling with tears. Kunle laughed the loudest and said words that cut deeper than hunger. Sadia said nothing. She remembered her mother's words. When the tongue has no bone, it can still break a heart. She gathered her groundnuts and walked away quietly. Days passed, and Kunle's pride grew. He stopped listening to advice, believing that wealth made him untouchable. But the elders say that no matter how long a log stays in the river, it will never become a crocodile. Wealth could not change the truth that Kunle was still a child who needed wisdom. One season, trouble came unexpectedly. Kunle's father's goods were stolen during a long journey, and debt followed him home like an unwanted guest. The big house grew quiet. The rich meals became smaller. Visitors stopped coming. Kunle watched his mother sell her jewelry, one piece at a time. For the first time, hunger sat beside him at night. Soon, Kunle stopped going to school regularly. His clothes became old, his friends avoided him, and one morning he found himself standing by the roadside, helping his mother sell bean cakes just to survive. As he stood there, shame burning his chest, he saw Sadia passing by. Their eyes met. Kunle expected mockery, but Sadia only greeted him softly and bought food with the little money she had. Kunle felt something break inside him, not hunger, but pride. Hy onthou van die spreekwoord sy ouma hom een keer vertel het. Die rivier wat vergeet waar sy vloeit, sal droogloop. Vir die eerste keer het hy verstaan. Life became hard. Kunle fetched water, swept compounds, and endured insults from people who once praised him. At night, he cried quietly, realizing that it is when the rat laughs at the cat that it has not yet seen the trap. het elke wreed woord onthou wat hy gespreek het na Sadia en ander soos haar. Een aand het Kunle Sadia ontmoet wat saam met haar moeder gesit het. Hy het neergeval en vergewe, sy stem trillend. Sadia's mother lifted him up and said, "My son, a person who bends to greet an elder never loses respect." They forgave him, not because he deserved it, but because forgiveness heals the giver first. Years passed. Kunle grew wiser. He learned a trade with humility and diligence. Though wealth returned slowly, kindness returned quickly. He helped the poor, spoke gently, and never mocked another person's struggle. People noticed the change and said, "The child who learns wisdom late is still better than the one who never learns at all." When Kunle eventually prospered again, he remembered where he came from. He built wells, supported widows, and paid school fees for children like Sadia once was. And whenever young boys laughed at the poor, Kunle would say calmly, "Be careful. The sky is wide enough for every bird to fly, but not every bird flies with pride."